we are a production company. We make music for television and film and whatever else you need. And we've decided to just share some tips and tricks that we use in our own templates and on our own rigs with each other and publish it for a wider audience. So some of this stuff is specific to us. Some of it is probably useful to you, and all of it is probably interesting to people who make music professionally. So today, this is our second one, and Eugene, our production manager, is going to show some tips and tricks that he uses to make his music sound awesome. So Eugene, take it away.
Hi, everyone. I'm Eugenio Casillas. I'm a composer and producer based in Mexico City. That's why I sound kind of funny. But, well, today we're going to see one of my tracks that I'm kind of repurposing for another project. So, yeah, this is all MIDI, all virtual instruments. So we're going to focus on that, but also I'm going to share my template and a couple of tricks along the way. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so first of all, like this is my template. And also I'm going to start with a little trick that it's actually quite hidden inside of Logic. That is like the hide any unused tracks command, because this is like my full template. As you can see, there's a lot that I'm not using in the final track that takes a lot of space. And these are folders, so it's really quite a lot that it's not I'm not using, and it takes a lot of space. So there's a command to hide all unused tracks, but it's not really an action in Logic. I mean, it's just, if you go to key commands, you can set up a keyboard shortcut for it. I have it Shift Option Command H. If I have any unused tracks, let me just like unhide everything. Okay, there we go. Anything that is not used, it's gonna be hidden. And when I go to hide tracks, only the tracks that have actual regions in them are gonna show up. So it really like cleans up the session a lot. So I do this like for mixing or for when I know what I'm using, I just switch to this and I only see what is sounding. So that's really useful. Also, I mean, you can see like the previous month instance, like video, Lucas went through a much more sophisticated template than this. But yeah, templates are a must if you're gonna do this professionally. So this is mine. I have mostly an orchestral setup with some synths, some percussion. And for this track, I actually imported some other like sub templates, like groups of instruments from other templates, so I can have like this hybrid recording. Nothing is recorded really. No, production, not recording. Nothing is recorded. Everything is MIDI, but I did some tricks to better utilize all my tools. I mean, I come from an academic background, so I learned to like learn the way each instrument functions, its weaknesses and its strength, and with libraries, with like music libraries, instrument libraries, it's the same. I mean, even if you have like a strings library or a violins library, it behaves mostly like a regular like physical acoustic violin, but also each library has its strengths and its weakness. Some are better for like short strings, some have like a very good room, some are very good with the legato, some are good for slow passages, some are better for more agile stuff.
I have a quick question.
Oh yeah.
It looks like you have 750 tracks or something like that.
No, 600, I don't know. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of tracks, but
59, bro.
That's
I mean, yeah,
madness.
but
742.
I mean, it is a big template, but most of it
What?
is not being used right now.
Show us your about this Mac. I
What
want to
what
see
kind of
what machine
what
is running this.
what
I
kind
mean,
of
it's not.
cyborg is running?
No, it's like the M2 Max Apple, like Mac Studio. It's not
Wow.
even like the maxed out one. You can go higher than this. And this one is amazing. I mean, I didn't have to like bounce in place for this. This is lean enough that I can just like hit play. And there's like also lots of like not so efficient plugins in here. I mean, it's amazing what these computers can do. And
Whoa.
also, you can have this exact setup in a laptop.
Really?
Like let that sink in. This exact setup with the same amount of RAM, with the same processor, you can have it in a laptop, and the only difference is that it will heat up faster. I'm just gonna play it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, maybe let's just like focus on a section because this is like
That was sick.
a bit uncooked.
That's sick.
Okay, so like the main thing in this track is like the string quarter, the solo strings. So I'm using two different libraries. I mean, for most of my like solo strings needs, I use Spitfire stuff. So here I have Spitfire solo strings, but I mean they are great for short notes. The spiccato patches are amazing. So if I solo this,
Can you show us the plugin?
the plugin, yeah, of course. Here it is. So this is like the regular like Spitfire solo strings. It's been around for a while. And I really like the pizzicato and the spiccato patches. I mean, they are great for everything, but what they don't do as well is you can hear like this kind of groove in which not all the notes have the exact same duration, and that's part of the groove. So I complement this library, which has like a really good sound, a really nice room, and the attacks, like the transients, are real. Like this is a sampled instrument, and it's very well recorded. So that part works really well. But if I solo this, like that grooviness goes away. Especially in this part that you have like the groove with longer notes. I'm gonna probably I can just show you this. Okay. Where is it? Okay. So yeah, there's short notes and not so short notes. And also there's a bit of like these ornaments that sound like just regular spiccato strings. So this is lost. So I use this other library. This is not really a library. This is a synthesizer. This is a modeling synthesis. This is the audio modeling stuff that, yeah, we talked about it like last week or a couple of weeks ago. This is how it looks like. And this is not sampling. I mean, the sound is generated via like physical modeling of the instrument. So the sound is generated in real time. So it has lots of parameters. I mean, everything that's a knob in here, you can program and you can play it in real time. So this makes for a much more expressive and malleable instrument. But the trade-off is it doesn't have like the realness, the sonic quality of a real sampled instrument in a real sampled space. Everything is emulated. It's an imitation. So to have the full effect, I combine both of them. So if you hear only this one, you can hear it is much more expressive. It grooves way more because I mean what I tell it to do here, it actually does it. It's not triggering samples. It's generating exactly the notes and durations and expression, like the bow pressure and the bow like position and everything. It's lot. I didn't like go into too much detail with this one, but you can go into quite a bit of detail. So
it looks like you have it like triggering early too.
What?
It looks like you have the MIDI triggering early.
It looks like that.
It's intentionally like a little bit,
yeah, of course, because I mean, you can see like the note is triggering early, but actually this controls the bow pressure. So really the attack is not where the note starts.
Oh, wow.
Also, these instruments are really meant to be played, not programmed. So if you like just use the audio like the sequencer, they don't really shine. I mean, they are quite artificial to begin with. So if you quantize them too much, they sound like us, basically. So yeah. Also, this is the first thing that I made. I mean, the groove was composed and written down with these instruments. And what that gives me, that the samples don't give me, is that these instruments react to my playing. So if you have a nice controller, I actually do have a nice controller. Let me just pop off my webcam for a bit. This is what I use. I mean, I have an SL88 Grand, which is a pretty nice controller. And this like minimalist controller is the Monogram audio console that basically has like 3 faders, 3 knobs, and 3 buttons, and you can program them to do whatever you like. So with this, I mean, you can have, and also I have an expression pedal, like down there, I have like the sustain pedal, another random pedal, and an expression pedal that frees up like my 2 hands for the keyboard. And with those, I mean, it's not really realistic to control more than 3 or 4 parameters at the same time anyway. So 3 faders is all you really need. One for like modulation, expression, and vibrato, and that's it. So that's what I use. And
So each fader is one's for vibrato, one's for modulation, and one's for expression.
yeah, and I can
Can you show us that in practice with one of these violins or something?
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is the violin. Right now I have the expression with, I'm gonna open the interface so you can see. Okay, so my expression pedal that just, let me flip it over. Okay. Here it is. So my expression pedal with my foot, I'm controlling the expression, and that accounts for like the pressure of the bow. So dynamics. But not only dynamics, because I mean, there's some other nuance going on with the, also you can hear like an increment in the bow noise, and it kind of changes more than just dynamics. The velocity is configured to control like the attack velocity. So even if I'm way down in expression, the attack sounds like a forte if the velocity is high up. For a really smooth attack, low velocities work better. Modulation right now is controlling vibrato in this particular instrument. So here it is, both of them. And also I can program this. I mean, what I mostly do is like play only controlling like the expression, obviously the notes, but also the expression with velocity and vibrato, and sometimes pitch bend, but it doesn't work as good. I mean, I prefer like the transition speed controls like the glissando. So if I transition really fast, it makes like a quick glissando, like a quick articulation. If I go slower, it does a portamento. So this is really playable. The downside is it doesn't sound, it's not there with the samples, not today. Soon we will be there. I mean, these have been advancing like really well. So I'm confident that they will sound as good as a sample someday soon. But right now I don't believe we are there. So I complement them with the samples. But well, what I want to show you is once you like write like the main things, like the notes, the dynamics, the vibrato, you can go into automation. And it's actually pretty well organized. You can see all these menus with all the parameters that you can program. So you can open a new lane and you can, for example, I sometimes vary like the position of the bow. So you can go from sul tasto to sul ponticello. No sample library that I've seen has that. I mean, you sometimes have sample sul ponticello and sample sul what's the other one? Sul tasto, but you can't modulate from one to the other. And you can with
But
this.
you can do that with a controller. Like you can have it like as if it's going. I can't see if I'm on camera, but as if it's going like like getting
Yeah.
closer and closer and further and further.
Yeah, you can program a
That's fucking
curve,
cool.
an automation curve, and actually have it go from one place in the bow to another. The bow can move. And also you can use them in tandem with other parameters. For example, I see extreme like sultasto with also very low bow pressure gives like a very nice flautando effect. So yeah, I love this
Okay.
instrument.
I want to ask you a question. I didn't touch on this, but this is like super important, and I see you do it too. But can you talk about how you have these panned and why you have them panned that way?
Oh yeah, I have them panned this way because I have like the low end in the center and the violins panned like left and right because of the like rhythmic nature of this. I mean, if you see, I'm gonna select only this. They are really like grooving among each other, but over the same note. So really, the spatial like game they're doing adds up to a lot more movement and it grooves way better. But normally you would pan them in the sitting order, which is like conventionally like the violins on the left, cello and viola on the right. It's also the orchestral like sitting, but I've had like much better results, especially with this kind of like hybrid music. Like the style is not really like classical, so um, the violins like not hard left and right, but mostly panned left and right work really well, and the cello and viola in the middle. Also, I do have here a bass, so that's dead center, and the violas and cellos are slightly wider. The violins are the widest.
Can you play that chord, those two together real quick? Just that one bar.
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna play this, and then I'm gonna add the samples and play it again. So the simplest thing that is like, if I play for a little longer, it's still staccato, but it is a longer staccato. That takes the group to a whole new level, and you can't really do that with samples. I mean, the sample is just triggered, and if it's a short note, it doesn't really matter how staccato you play. It's gonna sound the same amount of a staccato. And in real life instruments, that is like that is played with an intention. It's not always like just short or long. So the problem is I don't really like this sound of this. I mean, it does sound like it's not real. So having like the best of both worlds, I'm gonna solo like the violins right now so we can do an A-B comparison. This is how it sounds. Let me actually play the next passage because that's where they groove the most. Here it goes. Okay, yeah, so yeah, I unmuted the rest because the viola and cello also have like some different articulations that don't really shine through with just the sample. And the modeled instrument, like the synthesized instrument, does that really well, but the attacks are not that realistic. I mean, I don't like the sound, and also the room is completely artificial. Has like an algorithmic reverb. Well, it doesn't matter that it's algorithmic, but it is a reverb that is added after the.
Quick question:
Oh yeah.
How are you highlighting the regions like you just were? You were just like dragging your mouse over the regions, and then they were like turning on.
Oh
And
yeah,
Option.
I do that a lot. I mean, I combine like the track solo and the region solo. Here up
Yeah.
here, you have a button to like region solo, and everything that's selected is gonna be soloed. And also, you can lock this in place with Option S, And you can see it turns into a lock, and then it stays like that even if you like are not selecting it anymore. Also, you can't add anymore, but it's a really good way like to solo things when you're working, like when you're orchestrating or like just showing stuff. I do this a lot in my like I teach a class
But
on
are you pressing any buttons besides just highlighting it?
yeah, you have to. I don't know what's the like native shortcut. I have it like Shift S, which is the shortcut for solo in Pro Tools, but it's this button. If you hover your mouse, it will show you the shortcut. Once you are in solo region solo mode, and this is flashing like not flashing like glowing yellow, then you can select either via the lasso tool or shift clicking and adding things. Also, you can have logic configured to select all the regions when you select a track. So you can do that also.
Damn.
And if you are done like listening, like focusing on these instruments, you can just deactivate the region solo and you revert back to whatever you had soloed in your tracks. So it's really useful. It's like a second level of soloing.
Yeah, the shift clicking on regions and soloing is pretty much the only way that I solo. And you can also mute that way, Vinny, if that's like you can select any region and then yeah.
Same but with M.
Yeah.
Also, anything that is not supposed to sound, I have the like I always mute the region because muted tracks can easily like get unmuted and you'll lose the information of which tracks were muted before you like batch unmuted everything, and that doesn't happen with the regions. So it's like kind of a fail safe. So yeah, I mean this is it.
Eugene, apparently his friends call him Eugene. His name is Eugenio, and he didn't correct me. I was calling him Eugenio for about a year before he told me that everyone calls him Eugene. So,
well, Eugenio is my name, so
yeah, Eugenio is his name. But thanks, Eugenio. That was awesome. That was super helpful. And I don't know. I guess I'm supposed to say that people should like and subscribe because this is a YouTube channel. So if this was helpful to you, like and subscribe. We're easy to get in touch with. LucasCantorSantiago.com is the easiest way. That email goes right to me. So just email me if you have questions for Eugene. I'll forward them. If you have questions for me, I'll answer them or I'll ignore them. So thanks. Bye.